An unfortunate trend throughout the previous and current generations of consoles is the death of game manuals. They're a rare find nowadays. You'll only ever really see them in releases targeted more towards collectors, like special releases of indie games. And that sucks for everyone who loves collecting physical games. I mean, the game manual was such a fun part of the package. It had all this extra info and art. It just made the package feel complete. However, there is a glimmer of hope for all us weirdos out there who love having a bunch of plastic on our shelves. A new trend among some publishers is to include art on the opposite side of the cover. Sometimes this is just nice art related to the game, and sometimes the art acts as a control guide, basically making it its own mini manual. While these covers may not be as substantial as full-blown manuals, they've got the same spirit, just nice little extra bonuses you get for buying the game physically. Hello everyone, I'm Loogi.
And I'm Retro.
And today, we're going over our top 10 favorite Switch game flip-around covers. Also, keep in mind that we're only able to include games that one of us own. If there's a flip cover you really like and we didn't include it, chances are neither of us own it.
Or we didn't like it.
Anyway, on to the video.
Well, I'm just gonna say it. I am really disappointed by this cover. They could have done literally anything else, but it's just Luigi in the foyer looking scared. How creative. But I guess I could see the positives. I guess Polterpup being there is cool. And I like the new backpack. But, I mean, that's all of the joy that I can squeeze out of this. And honestly, can you blame me? I mean, they could have done like a blueprint of the new vacuum, or maybe an artistic representation of Luigi getting scared by a bunch of ghosts. But no, it's just Luigi in a room. Fun. I'm sure that Luigi is going to have a more positive take, so I'll pass the baton to him.
Ugh, well, alright Mr. Negative. While I agree that they could have done a lot more with this cover, that blueprint idea sounds really cool by the way, I still think the design is pretty nice. One thing I really love about this cover is the lighting. I love the dim glow of the moonlight shining through the windows, and how the light reflects off of the stairs and the walls. It's just so atmospheric, which perfectly represents Luigi's mansion and its darker, more ominous feel. That's about all I have to say on that one. On to number 9. Now what I found really cool about Mario Maker 2's flip cover is that it's actually a remake of the default cover, but now with Mario Bros. 1 style sprites. Switching between game styles is a huge part of Mario Maker's gameplay, so I thought this was really fitting. I also find it interesting how they chose to recreate some of the 3D World exclusive pieces. For the clear pipe they just made a little tunnel out of ice blocks, and for the Piranha Creeper they just put a little clump of piranha plants down. Altogether, I just think this is a really cool and interesting use of the flip cover, and it also really fits well with the game.
I love how they used the cover to convey the fact that there is the new 3D World stuff, and also the 2D stuff. The way that they used elements from the 2D game to represent the 3D World stuff was very clever, and an excellent use of the flip-around cover. Although, I can't really think of what else they could have done without it being boring or plain, so, I mean, good on them for being clever. I really like Dragon Quest XI, even though I've barely scratched the surface of the thing. And the flip cover is pretty cool. With the Yggdrasil in the background and the new hero/sword in the foreground, it does a pretty good job of showing off the new area that you're in. But it blends in with the rest of the cloud-based flip covers, which saddens me, but not to a point that it takes away from its overall beauty and good use. It's honestly just better than leaving the paper white.
Now, I've never played Dragon Quest XI, or any Dragon Quest game for that matter, but I am a big fan of this cover. The angle here just seems so cinematic, with it giving a full view of the hero's sword while also giving a nice view of those awesome looking floating islands off in the distance. And not to mention that beautiful sky filled with clouds. Again, I haven't played the game, but from the footage I've seen of it, it's got a really nice adventurous feel, and that feel is perfectly captured in this artwork. Now this is a really cool use of the flip cover. I love big, cool pieces of art, But this is just so original. Using the cover as a lyric sheet totally gives me that whole game manual feel. I mean, just think, if Odyssey came out on the Wii or something, this would totally be a page in the manual. This design is just really charming to me, and I think it fits really well since New Donk Festival is probably the most memorable moment from Odyssey.
See, I don't own my own copy of Mario Odyssey, so I haven't seen the flip art in person. But I think the fact that it's the lyrics to the main song that plays during one of the most memorable parts of the game, that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's a pretty smart move on their part. Their only option was to do that or some kind of art or screenshots. So, not only is it practical and functional, but it's also clever. Alright, so this one comes with a new funky mode. If you haven't guessed, it's Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and even though it's just a port with an extra monkey, they still bothered to advertise the new funky mode. On the flip art, they use a more tropical theme while also parodying the original art. Instead of Donkey Kong, it's Funky Kong. I also like how the tropical leaves are still blue to show the freeze aspect of the game. It's a good representation of the whole tropical freeze idea, and it's an excellent way to make sure that people know that this game is slightly different from the original Tropical Freeze.
Funky Kong. I think I've said enough here. Alright, but for real, I've been a big fan of this slipcover ever since I first saw it, and the main reason is that it actually acts as an alternate cover. See, it's pretty cool when a cover has a big spread of art on the back, but you try and display it like that next to the other games, and then you're scarred for life. See, this was the first time I'd seen a game do that, and I thought it was so cool how you could choose between which one you liked better, and then display it like that. It was small, but it was a bit of customization that I found really cool. Man, just look at this cover. It's probably pretty obvious why we put it on the list. It's just a really beautiful picture. You've got that beautiful sunset in the background, and in front you've got Link climbing up a mountain, which is a really great representation of the gameplay since climbing is such a big part of it. Fun fact, I actually have a Breath of the Wild picture on my wall that uses this art. Now, if that doesn't prove that I like this art, then I don't know what does.
I love this slipcover. I mean, you can see some pretty major landmarks in the background. For example, Hyrule Castle, Death Mountain, Hylia Bridge, and some Spirit Towers. But then, in the foreground, you have Link climbing a mountain, which is showing off the new climbing, and carrying several weapons, showing off all the weapons and tools you can obtain. But unfortunately, that's about it. It doesn't show off a lot more than just those few things. It's an excellent use, but not super creative. And plus, you can see it on the title screen, so... The wonderful thing about this one is it shows off one of the most important moments in the game. It's important because this is when Shovel Knight has dreams of his lost love, Shield Knight, specifically trying to catch her or save her from a bunch of enemies. And it's a sad moment because he really misses her. And it's sad that he lost her, so Yacht Club using that as a flip cover is just pure genius. Simple yet meaningful. I mean, it's perfect for this game.
Now, I love the base cover for this game, with how it's got all the different characters featured, but the minimalistic style they go for on this flip cover is just so cool. The purple and gold color scheme feels very regal, which fits great with Shovel Knight's medieval setting. I also really like how they include the game's title and publisher logo on the spine, so if you want to, you can display it like this with your other games. Sure, the color and font is different, but honestly, with how samey all Switch games look on the shelf together, I kinda enjoy this little bit of variety. I honestly wish all Switch games did this. I feel like they would look way more interesting together if every game had its own font and color that matched with it. But enough of me complaining about game spines. All in all, I'm a big fan of the theming on this cover, and I think they did a great job. Moving on. Man, what is it with these Zelda games and having amazing flip-around art? No, not you. Get out of here. Shoo! Shoo! Alright, Link's Awakening. Just look at this cover, man. The shimmering water, the light beaming down through the clouds, and of course there's this super well-drawn island. It's just a really beautiful cover, and that's why it's at number 3 on our list.
Now, I haven't even gotten past the title screen of this game, but I really like this flip cover. It's so pretty with the rays of sun coming through the clouds, the egg on top of the mountain, Link shipwrecked, all the trees. It's truly a beautiful picture. And with so much to look at, I just can't get over how beautiful it is. I really want a full-size version of this so I can hang it on one of my walls. But we all know that Nintendo would never do something that cool, not in a million years. Or even if they did, it would be a Japan exclusive or way overpriced. But I digress. I love this flip cover, and I think that it's an excellent use of the space provided. Alright, the Hollow Knight cover is...
Oh man, just look at this cover. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, all the little...
Dude, shut up! What are you doing? It's my turn!
Well, yeah, but it's Hollow Knight.
So?
You don't understand. I need to talk about Hollow Knight.
Alright, well, you can talk after me.
No, I played Hollow Knight for 700 hours, I've gotten all the grubs, I've gotten all the charms, I've beat the Radiance, I've gotten the speedrun achievement.
What a freaking nerd, am I right? Actually, now that I think about it, I could really just say anything I want, and he can't do anything about it. He's probably still ranting as we speak. Loogi is such a loser. I mean, who even likes Hollow Knight or Luigi? Only hot dog smelling nerds do. Anyhow, I'm just kidding, and I need to get to my opinion before he blows a blood vessel or something. I personally think that it befits the game's quite regal-feeling tone. It almost feels like a medieval banner or like a royal painting. And I absolutely adore it. The phrase "descend into the dark" on the back adds to the whole gothic/medieval feel to it, which really does fit. After all, the game has night in it. I don't really have much else to say, so I guess I'll let Loogi speak now.
Pantheon of the Night, I completed the Path of Pain.
Alright, you talk now.
Oh, cool. As I was saying, this is a really nice cover. First off, it does the whole alternate cover thing, which I've already gone on about how much I love. Second, it's just got really nice art. My favorite part has got to be on the left side. I just love how adventurous the knight looks perched up on that rock with his nail drawn. It definitely captures the feeling of exploring the vast, dangerous world of Hollow Nest. On the top of the cover you've got these rays of light beaming down from above, which contrast with the void tendrils creeping up from the bottom. I'm assuming the light here represents the Radiance, which would make sense because in the game the Void and Radiance are sort of these two opposing forces. But anyway, along with all that there's the little Hollow Nest seal, along with the tagline "Descend into the Dark." This cover just has so many little details that perfectly represent the story, gameplay, and atmosphere of Hollow Knight. And I'm really glad for all those details, seeing as the physical edition costs over twice as much as the digital edition. Guys, please subscribe. I need YouTube money so I can financially recover from my Hollow Knight addiction. Finally, at the top of our list is Sonic Mania Plus. Specifically the Plus edition because the Standard edition has... yeah. But anyway, this is a really cool cover. It takes that idea of an alternate cover and puts an awesome retro spin on it. Flipping around the art gives you this Sega Genesis style box art, and honestly I couldn't think of anything more perfect for a Genesis era throwback game like Sonic Mania. Moving on to retro.
Ooh boy, this one is by far my favorite out of all the flip covers, but I cannot stress how much I love it. I like how they cleverly decided to make it look like a Sega Genesis cartridge, even down to the spine, which follows the theme of a Sega Genesis cartridge box, which I love as a part of my collection. I think that most of this must have been the idea of the people that Sega brought on to make the game in the first place, which is something Nintendo should do, but this isn't a soapbox moment, so I won't get into it. All in all, I really like this cover, and I wish more stuff like this was done more often.